What's up? Welcome back. So today on the channel we're going to be doing a little bit more of the Nissan work on the 370Z that I did the forged carbon parts for. You saw it a little bit briefly in the introduction. So we're going to do now, I'm going to go ahead and give you a walk around of the car, introduce you the owner of the car, because they're going to be on the channel here quite a bit as we start working on all three vehicles. And we're going to start with the 370. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce the driver, and he can do a little bit of a rundown on what the car has and what he plans on doing to it. And then I'll explain to you what the hell we're doing today. So let me go ahead and without further ado, go ahead and flip this thing around. All right, so this is David's 2015 370Z. Sport Tech, right? Sport Tech? Yeah, okay. So he's got a good bit of stuff done to it so far. A lot of stuff planned that he's gonna be coming back and forth once I get moved to the new place. But as you can see, this is the car that I did the forged carbon battery box and the fuse box covers for. And they are still looking as good as they were the day I put them in, so that's cool. So David, what else you got going on here? What's been done to this thing so far?
I got Z1 intakes, Z1 wild pipe, motor down arc pipes, full 2.5 inch custom exhaust, swift lowering springs, and it's tuned by Z1 Motorsports.
Soho, they're the ones up in Charlotte, right?
Right.
Okay, cool. So we gonna be doing more forged on here?
Oh yeah.
As it comes out, or?
Doing forged duck bill, forged mirror caps. Gonna do some more stuff under the hood as far as forged. And in the future I'll be going stealing supercharger, Soho air to air. And I made 337 to the wheels, 270 foot-pounds of torque.
Okay.
After the tune.
So damn near 340 to the wheels. That's not too bad.
With chest pipes, intakes, and exhaust.
So whatever little modification you do next should get you there or over.
I'm also do long tube headers as well. Take the arc pipes off. Try to get as much out of it as I can NA.
I mean, that's a hell of a lot more performance shit than I'm putting on mine. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
So today, we're gonna attempt to get rid of this little janky arm here that Nissan throws on their hoods.
Yeah.
We're gonna replace it with the Z1 Motorsports hood prop kit. So I'm gonna go ahead and have him pull the car in, get it set up. And I'm gonna look at the kit, see what we need, and then we'll give a kit rundown, and we'll get started on getting this thing installed. All right, so in the Z1 hood strut kit for the 370Z, you have the two struts, obviously. You got the two lower ball nuts to go on the battery and fuse box cover to mount at the rear, or at the bottom of the strut. And then you have the ball joint brackets that mount directly on top of the hood brackets, so that way they can mount to the top. Attached to the struts, you have the little tiny C-clip right there. As you can see, it's hooked there to keep the ball joint attached to the actual bracket. To put everything on, you're going to need at least, at minimum, a flathead screwdriver. I'm using a stub nose. I got a big one out just in case. And a 12mm open end wrench and a 12mm ratchet, because all the bolts that are on the car that we're going to be affecting are 12mm. So first thing we need to do is we need to get these two installed. And to do that, we're going to have to go up under the car through the wheel well and pop out the old pins and replace them with these. So that's what we're going to do now. And then we'll come back and we will go on to the next step. As you see, pop those pins out. That's where the bolts are going. So you saw we got these things taken out. So now I'm gonna go ahead and take the bolts, each one on per side. I'm gonna go ahead and give these off to David so he can walk over to that side of the car and hold his. But I got my open end wrench and my ratchet. Go ahead and stick these in through the top hole, just so the ball nut is sitting right on top where it needs to be, I'm gonna go from the bottom side and just tighten this thing down. The car doesn't have to be raised a whole lot. You literally just need enough to get your arm in. So, you know, a good 4 or 5 jacks to the jack should be enough to get it where it needs to be. Depending on the size of your arm and how big the tires are, you may not even have to raise the car at all, but I'd rather just have it up than have to figure out what the hell's going on without being able to see. Okay, so now both of the lower pivot ball joints are in place. They're all tightened, both are tightened down here and over on the other side over there. So now we're gonna start with the driver's side. What we're gonna loosen these 2 nuts right here. We're gonna install the plate and we're gonna face the pivot ball joint inward toward the center of the car. So we'll go ahead and knock this out and then we'll go over and do the other side. All right, so now, like I said, the ball joints go toward the center of the car. The bracket's universal, left or right, doesn't matter which one you apply as long as the ball goes toward the center. So, like you said, David already took the nuts off of the hood hinges. So we're gonna just slip in right there, hold it in place, finger tight those nuts down, and then cinch it back down, and this side is done. It'll just be ready to mount the hood strut. Now that one's on. We'll go ahead and do the other one off camera, and we'll come back when we go to put the struts in. So, as you can see, each one of the struts on one end has this little locking pin. And to unlock the pin, you really just push it down and pull it outward towards you, and it comes out just like that. This lock pin is designed to hold the upper ball joint into here and then lock it in place so it doesn't come off. So, obviously with me saying that, this piece goes on the hood, while this part down here is what pushes down and locks in on the lower ball joint. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the, gotta love when your phone dings in the middle of talking, isn't that great? I love that. Anyway, so I'm gonna put this upper one in first, like that right there, and then slip this bottom one on, and you can hear the click. So the bottom one is clicked in place, the upper one is now clicked in place. So I'm gonna take the clip, slide the clip through the holes, and then flip it and rotate it over and lock it in place. So as you can see, the upper is locked on, it's not going anywhere. And the bottom is also locked in place, also not going anywhere. So we're gonna go ahead and knock out the passenger side one, and then we'll check for clearancing and any issues with closing the hood. So now, moment of truth is to drop this factory arm, lock it in place, and hopefully the hood stays where it's supposed to be. I guess we'll find out in a second. So now, as he lowers it down, I'm gonna go ahead and go over here to the side, and I'm gonna look and see if there's any issues with clearancing. So, as of right now, everything looked like it closed down the way it was supposed to. So, from the side, there is a area right in here that looks like it's slightly bowed. So we're gonna go ahead and pop the hood again and focus on just this location right here and see exactly what's going on there. All right, so after opening the hood and taking a look in here, you can actually see right there, there's a small flat spot where the rod pressed down into the plastic here. So that tells me that there's not enough, see there's that dinging again, gotta love it. This tells me there's not enough clearance in between the plastic of the shroud of the factory panel and the actual rod. Now down here, I was curious about clearance, but I don't see any indentations or any markings down here at the bottom. So I think the bottom might be okay. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna get a small file. And I'm gonna file this little area down slightly and see if we can correct the slight bow in the hood once I start filing these areas. I'm gonna do both sides a little bit at a time until this thing either closes and works right, or I have to think of something else. So, go ahead and knock that out. So I filed an 1/8 inch off of the panel, and that wasn't quite enough. So I think instead of going through and filing this stuff over and over again and test fitting and trying again and again and again. Go ahead and pop this bottom bracket off, shift it off to the side, take this nice little forged panels out, and I'm just gonna get a Dremel with a sanding disc, with a sanding wheel, and just run this straight down until it touches the base of the plate here, and just knock all this little excess lip off as clean as I can, feather it down, smooth it out, and then we'll try again and see if that helps. We finally figured out where the area that was touching. As you see right in here, we had to cut and grind all the way out to just shy of this first little corner right here at the front. With all that missing and everything smoothed out and rounded back out, it doesn't look as factory as obviously factory does, but it's not an eyesore either, and it works, and the hood closes the way it's supposed to. So he's gonna go ahead and shut the hood, and you'll see the end result, which is what we're looking for. And there it is. Everything is in, and everything locks down. It's good to go. So that is the Z1 Hood Strut kit for the 370Z. I've never seen the kit for the 350, but I imagine the installation is fairly similar. So with that said, that's it for this one. So if you are new to the channel, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys on the next one, which hopefully will be me moving into the new house.